These are ramps. The locals that were collecting them taught me how to identify them. Ideally, I'd need a shovel to get the whole thing, but they are onion-like. They've got these broad leaves that are kind of distinctive. They're purplish toward the bottom, and if you smell them, they smell like onions. And they told me make sure you smell them before you eat them, because there is a look-alike, I think they said it's called lily of the valley, that is toxic. But they gave me one and I ate it, and stayed with me a long time because I ate it raw. They said you can eat the whole thing, leaves and root. And they're only around for a couple of weeks. And I said, oh, kind of like morel mushrooms. He said, yes. And I said, we have morels where I live in Arkansas, but we don't have ramps. He says, yeah, they're exclusively an Appalachian thing. So there's your lesson for today. A lot of the trail has been like this morning, and this is not fun. I'm still going over balds this morning, and it is very windy. I haven't done my morning report yet because I didn't think you could hear me. And I'm looking off into the distance, and it's not looking too great. Kind of worrisome, in fact. This was a tough climb, especially with the wind blowing me sideways. But the dividend was worth it. This is Hump Mountain. Hello, this is Rebound here with the morning report. There were two guys who came later in the afternoon to set up their tents where I was camping, and I don't know why more people are not camping there, except that it is quite a ways off the trail. I don't know, quarter, half a mile, I don't know, but there's a good strong spring on the way, and a nice grassy area, soft, to set up your tent. And it was just beautiful. My tent opening was facing the sunrise, and I did get to see a bit of color. I didn't actually see the sun because I started hiking at around 7. In order to start hiking at 7, I have to start packing up and eating before the sun comes up. When I got to the place where I turned off to go to the old Overmountain shelter site, there were a lot of tents just set up there, all in a bunch. I woke myself up several times last night snoring, and that's concerning, mainly because I don't want to upset other people, because it can be really annoying when somebody snores. I don't think I do it a lot. I was on my back because I woke up with my hips hurting. I did not go to sleep with my hips hurting. So, started hiking at 7, and I've mostly been going over balds today so far. I love the balds. It's absolutely beautiful. And you can really really just see everything. It's not obstructed by trees. There was something I was going to mention yesterday. I think it takes me probably about 20-30 minutes to cook breakfast and eat it. You may be thinking, why does she look forward to oatmeal? Well, I'm not eating those little Quaker packets that are artificially flavored. I made my own oatmeal packets. They start with old-fashioned oats, half a cup. And I like the old-fashioned oats because the texture is more agreeable to me. It's kind of chewy. Then I add a 1/4 cup of some kind of nut, walnuts, almonds, pecans. Sometimes I use seeds, but I don't enjoy those as much. Then I add a 1/4 cup of dried fruit. And I've got a wide variety that I have used. I've got dried apples, dried bananas, peaches, apricots. I found a dried berry mix at Walmart that I really like. Cranberries, sometimes a mixture of 2 fruits. I even tried mango, and I even dehydrated some fruit cocktail. And I've just got a bunch of different combinations to keep it interesting and varied. Sometimes I throw some unsweetened coconut flakes in there, and occasionally I've put cinnamon or pumpkin pie spice in there. Oh, I also add a heaping tablespoon of powdered milk and a heaping tablespoon of powdered butter, a pinch of salt, and a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons of sucanat, which is dehydrated cane juice, to sweeten it. And in a lot of them, I put about a tablespoon of hemp seeds for protein in there. I don't like to put too many of those in there because it makes it taste kind of green. That's the only way I know to describe it. So I'm getting a lot of nutrition, protein, and energy from that breakfast. And it always tastes good to me because I've got a wide variety. I do have a few other breakfasts that I've thrown in there. This morning, for example, I had homemade granola. I put some powdered milk in there, so all I have to do is add water, and I've got a cold cereal. I've also made some breakfast rice, which is very similar to my oatmeal recipe, only using rice. And I've got some rice pudding that actually has pudding mix in it. I haven't tried those yet. And from Backpacking Chef, I've got sweet potato porridge. That is not one of my more favorite ones, but lots of people love it. So, that is my breakfast. And, of course, coffee. And there is a quote that I came up with myself that I want you to write down. Put it in quotes, and then put a little dash with rebound after it. The quote is this: coffee is not a drug, it's an experience. I don't want to have coffee on the go. I like to drink my coffee and meditate. To sit in my tent and have my coffee and look at the beautiful view and think about how grateful I am for all of the beautiful things that God put on this earth, and that I get to enjoy them. At home, I like to read my Bible while I'm having my coffee, and it's just a quiet, meditative time for me. So don't use your coffee as a drug. Use it to enhance your morning experience. That's just a little advice from Rebound. Okay, I guess this is it for the morning report. This is Rebound, signing out. This is a cattle gate so hikers can get through, but cows can't get out. I also wanted to mention that I'm planning on doing 17 to 18 miles today and 17 to 18 miles tomorrow, so that I can have 6 miles going into Boots Off Hostel, and that will get me in there early so I can get all my stuff done and leave the next morning. I know it's going to be really tough. I also want to try to stop for lunch and take my shoes off again, because I think that really helped. So we shall see how the day plays out. Not exactly sure what this means. I have been hiking the border of Tennessee and North Carolina since the Smokies at least, and I don't know if this means I'm leaving North Carolina forever and I'll be in Tennessee from here on out till I get to Virginia or not. But anyway, here's the sign. It's like I've all of a sudden walked into spring. All of a sudden, I'm seeing more lush green and lots of wildflowers. This tree up here is blooming. I don't know what it is, but it's really interesting how this happened sort of all of a sudden. I guess it's the elevation. Rebound here. I did 17.9 miles today. It was very long. I'm trying to get from point A to point B in 5 1/3 days, and that's why these days are so long. Plus, shelters and campsites to a certain degree dictate how many miles per day you're gonna do. Anyway, I've got about the same amount to do tomorrow. Today was tough, mostly because it was so long. I went over several bulbs this morning. I went through a beautiful meadow, and the terrain was just really varied today. It's amazing how much it can vary for 17.9 miles. I'm at a little campsite before the shelter. Comments and far out said that there aren't any good tent sites at the shelter, but this is not a very good campsite either. There aren't very many level sites. There's probably about 2 good sites, and I got one of them, and it's slanted downhill. I guess that is about it for today. This is Rebound signing out. I also wanted to mention that there was very little shade today. Going over the balls, there's no trees. Going through the meadows, there's no trees. And when I did go through the trees, there weren't any leaves on the trees, and the sun was very powerful today. And I got really dehydrated and a little sunburned. But I'm okay. I'm camping by a waterfall that's close so I can get more water on the way out tomorrow. That's it for today. This is Rebound signing out.